Well, Queensland Premier Anna Bligh has always supported same-sex civil unions and was delighted with the result. And Anna Bligh joins me now from Brisbane. So, Premier, can we be clear here what has been passed by the Queensland Parliament? First of all, official recognition of same-sex partnerships. But does that stop short of making gay marriage legal?
Thank you for the opportunity to talk about this issue. Marriage in Australia is regulated by the Federal Marriage Act, and the Federal Marriage Act can therefore only be changed by the Federal Parliament. What states can do, however, is establish a regime in their state which allows people in both heterosexual and homosexual relationships the opportunity to have a ceremony that celebrates their relationship conducted by an authorised, recognised person, and then to have that relationship registered with the Registry of Births, Deaths and Marriages. So it is the closest a state can come to dealing with this issue, and what it means is that relationships that already exist, that we already know are out there, can be celebrated in a ceremony and can be recognised in law.
Let's look at this at the federal level then. The Prime Minister Julia Gillard is against any move towards legalising gay marriage, and yet there may be a conscience vote at the conference, the ALP National Conference. Would you vote in favour, vote yes at a conscience vote level, even though you'd be voting against the PM?
Here in Queensland, our caucus, our Labor group here in the Parliament, was granted a conscience vote. As leader, I thought this was an issue that people had very strong views about, and I thought it was important that they be given the opportunity to exercise their conscience. As you saw, 4 members of my caucus resolved not to support the bill, but it was nevertheless passed and did get the support of 1 independent. Ultimately, the question of how this matter might be considered in the Federal Parliament is a question for the conference on the weekend, but having supported a conscience vote here in Queensland, if that matter was brought up on the weekend, I'd be certainly supporting it here federally.
And would you want to see more than a conscience vote? How far would you like things to go?
Well, as I said, these are issues that I think are important to a great many people. But I accept that for some people they have very strong views. Some of those views are because of the religion that they adhere to, and I think that that does have to be taken into account. I gave my own members here a conscience vote, so I wouldn't be proposing something other than that for other parliaments that might be considering this issue. But I would hope that the Australian Labor Party will support action on this. It meant a lot to the people who are affected by it. I've had letters and correspondence and meetings, not only with people who are in same-sex relationships, but with a lot of their parents who feel very strongly that they want their children, their sons and daughters, to be able to celebrate relationships that are part of a wider family grouping.
Just looking at another issue that's to be debated at the ALP conference, that is uranium mining and the government's proposal to allow uranium exports to India. If it's passed, is there any chance that you would allow uranium mining once again in Queensland? You have roughly $20 billion worth of uranium deposits, and you could certainly do with the money.
Queensland has about 3% of Australia's uranium. I went to the last election committing that we would not allow uranium mining here, and no decision in relation to exports to India of Australia's uranium from South Australia or Western Australia will change our position here. Queensland Labor will not support uranium mining in our state. As I said, we have about 3% of Australia's uranium. We've got more than enough mining happening right here, with the biggest expansion ever in coal and the birth of a whole new gas industry, and we'll make sure we get that right.
Anna Bligh, thank you.
Thank you.